guys, and welcome to Blind Shark Exotics. Today I have something really cool for you. My girl, Mochi, laid her clutch of eggs. I think she's done. She's being a good mama there. She was hissing at me before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna collect the eggs, get them in the egg box, and I'm gonna show you how I candle the eggs just to make sure that the embryo's on the top side. I'm gonna make sure she doesn't have any eggs left in her, and if she does, I'm gonna keep checking back. And then I'm gonna get her cleaned up, get her tub cleaned up so that scent is out of there. That helps the female kind of forget that she laid eggs and gets her back on food right away so that she's, you know, getting back up to a good weight for next year. So let's get to the egg collection. Alright, so I think she is finished laying her eggs. So what I'm going to do is get her off of the clutch real quick. I'm going to try to make sure that she's empty. I'm going to pull the eggs and put them over in their bin. I'm going to put her back in this bin for now, and then typically what you want to do is clean out the substrate and give her sort of a little bath to get the scent of the eggs out of the cage. Because if they still smell that scent, it's possible that they'll still think they're in incubation mode and they'll stay off food until that, you know, scent is out of there. So typically, you get her off. As you can hear, she's huffing and puffing. You usually want to go, she's bucking me, get her tail first so she doesn't roll the eggs. Really good, mommy. There you go. May have one more egg in there. Yeah, I think she has one more egg. But what I'm going to do, since I have her here, is get these off and out. Get them in the incubator. I think she has at least one more egg in there. That is a huge clutch of eggs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And they're still fresh. So she laid 10 eggs and there may be more in there. So inside of her, probably at least one more still inside of her. So what I'm going to do is put her back down. She actually wasn't too angry at me. I think there's still one here towards her back end. So I'm going to keep checking back with her just to make sure it comes out. Put her back in there. And now we have this awesome clutch of eggs. These two rolled away. So, and this one looks like it's just fresh. It is very soft. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this big mound as is because they actually fit in there really well. And these two, I'm going to candle them to make sure that the embryo is the top up. These guys all look good. They're not going to touch the top of the incubation box. So let's candle them now. Let me turn off the lights. Now the way I incubate the eggs, I do it in a large igloo cooler, and I have another video to that and I can link that in here so you guys can see it. But basically, because the cooler is full of water and it's keeping the air at 100% humidity at all times, the substrate in these egg boxes, it doesn't really matter how much moisture is in there as long as the eggs aren't sitting in soaking wet substrate. So I just give it like a light misting just to make sure there's no dust flying around in there from the perlite. I put them on top of the light diffusing panels. Alright, so that's the embryo right there. So you drop it down, and typically you just want to put a little mark, or maybe a little X on top of the egg where that embryo is, just so you know which side is up. Now this egg is super soft, so I'd be, well, that's actually really easy to see right there. That's actually a really good one. I'm actually going to check the other egg because I didn't see a lot of veins in it. This egg has a ton of veins, and it's very easy to see where that embryo is right there. See it jiggling there. So we know that this is up. This egg is still really fresh too, so I'm assuming that she just laid this egg. You're not going to be able to see here, but I'll check the rest of these. This embryo is right here in this egg. This embryo is right here on top. This one I don't see a lot of veins in. And it's the same with this one. So I'm wondering if, we'll have to see. I don't know if those are going to hatch or not. Ton of veins in this one. And that embryo is up top. Can't tell where that one's at. This one's on the side a little bit. I may actually separate these because, well, that one's right here. Can't see some of the other ones. And that one's clear. And the problem is, if some of these eggs are bad and they start to die, some people say that, you know, if they start to go bad and get moldy, it shouldn't affect the other eggs. But if something happens where they do, you want to be able to remove the bad eggs. And now that these are fresh, they're easier to peel apart. Once they start hardening up, they're a lot harder to peel apart, and you may have the issue of maybe tearing them. So it's better to really take these apart when they're still fresh. So I'm going to pull them apart very gently now, and you can see that process. You just kind of just peel real easy. So you do not want to tear them. But peeling them apart right as they're laid is really, if you're going to do it, the best way to do it, because they still, this one is barely even on there. And this is the egg we have to check because I did not see any veins in it. These ones seem like probably a little older because they are stuck together pretty well. Let's see here. It's gonna be real soft. You don't want to do it too hard because you don't want to, definitely don't want to rip the eggs. Also, when you're putting the eggs in the box, you don't want to make sure they're not touching the sides because you do not want any of the water, condensation to pour down on the eggs. You know, as it's sitting in the incubator for 2 months. I'm going to try to leave these all the right side up how they are. Just hoping that's where all the embryos are. Assuming they all attached properly. Now, like some of the issues, if I were to not peel these apart now, and were to have any issues with these eggs, like this egg here is attached to here and here, and this would be not very easy to pull off of here in 2 weeks after they've hardened up. If one of these eggs were to go bad and it needs to be removed. There we go. Alright, good. I might as well just take them all apart. These ones aren't really attached too firmly, so pop off pretty easy. As you can see, just easy peel. When they're fresh, they peel off really easy. really light. Don't really put any force behind it. Just really light, real slow. Alright, now that they're all apart, let's candle them again. Alright, so this one, let's see. Embryo on this one is right up top, if you can see that there. So, I'm going to mark that with an X. This one, sort of on the side, you can see they're jiggling around. It's a little dark spot. So that has a good embryo. And so that's going to get an X right there. This guy also has an embryo, and this one was laying on the side, so it's good that I did peel them apart, because that one, you know, may have survived, but you know, you want the embryos pointing up, so that one was not. There we go, and this one, you can see it right there. It's like a little, there's like a big circle going around the outside, and there's a little black dot in the middle. And that little black dot is the embryo. So those are all good. This one's good too. Tons of veins. Embryo's right there. See it jiggling. That little black dot. These all look pretty good. I have those two at the other side that I kind of put question marks on. This one is right there. As you can see, this one's pretty good. Jiggling. Let's get that X there. Alright. Alright, now this one. See, this one, there's not a whole lot of veins in there. It's pretty clear. There's a good chance, even though this one didn't come out as a slug, that there's still potentially nothing in there. There's no, there's a very small network of veins right there, and it's very hard to see. It's shot in the dark that it's gonna do anything. You can see that right there. There's just a little mass, very little of anything. But we'll try it, see what happens. If it goes bad, it goes bad. So that's sort of right there. This one is kind of the same thing. There's not a whole lot of veins in there. This is the spot that I saw, and I'm wondering if maybe this one's not a viable egg either. But we'll see. And yeah, that's the first one. It's still soft. Must be fresh. All right, so we have these two here are the question marks. So I'm gonna put a little question mark on them, just so I know. So I'm aware that those two right there are the ones that, you know, I'm not sure if those are good eggs or not. As for the rest of them, they all have their X's on there. You do not want them touching the sides. It's okay that they touch each other. So you kind of just want to prop them up against each other so they're not rolling around in there. Some people use toothpicks, but I think for the most part people have success doing it like this as well. Just make sure they're not touching the sides of the tray or the sides of the container. I may need to get some toothpicks for these outside ones to make sure they do not roll onto the outside. And if she does have any more eggs in there, it's going to be tight squeeze. I'm sure I can fit one more in there. I have extra egg boxes if something happens where they won't fit. But let me get some toothpicks, and I will show you what the incubator looks like with the eggs in there. All right, so here's the incubator. Like I said, it is just a big igloo cooler, 120 gallons or 120 quarts. Yeah, 120 quarts. Basically, you just fill it with water, just enough. I have a power head down here in the corner. I have 2 aquarium heaters that are adjustable, so you can have the temperature where you need it to be. And I have a video showing you how to put it together, so check that out on my channel. I leave a couple extra egg boxes in here, just sitting there, getting temperature controlled, in case I have a couple other girls do. So then when I go to put the eggs in here, the boxes are already ready. I have a little temperature gauge in here that I'll just kind of stick down there in the corner. I got the toothpicks just kind of around, just on the outsides. It'll keep these couple eggs from hitting the corners. There should be enough space in here to get another egg or 2 if and when they do come out. But she laid a fantastic clutch. I'm hoping these 2 with the question marks do come out, because they look like fantastic eggs, but it's kind of weird that there's no network of veins on them. As far as the egg box goes, just put the lid on loosely. I have the date they were laid and the expected hatch date, which is typically around 58 days or so. And then I have the mom and the dad, mojave, enchi, black pastel, coral glow. And that's it. She laid a pretty good clutch, and I have my black pastel, I think she's due to lay at the end of this month as well. And then I have another black pastel female who was actually paired up to the same male that she was by the person that I bought both of the females from, and she is in shed right now. So once she sheds, she should be laying a clutch in 30 days, and her eggs will go in there. All right, guys, that is it for today. I'll update you guys on the clutch when they all come out, and my other female should be laying here in the next couple days, maybe a week or so. So I'll have 2 clutches in here. This is my 3rd clutch, and the one that's due in a couple days will be my 4th ever, and for this season. So we're having a good go of it so far, considering that one of these clutches I didn't even have to put any effort into making. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you saw something cool on it, and I hope I was able to give you some good information. Please remember to like and subscribe, and take care. Bye.